"What is your necklace for?" I asked. "A friend of mine gave me this necklace that contains a shard of Tan Wen. Tan Wen is the sword that acts against Chaos's evil energy. Just one tiny shard is enough to protect me from Chaos's evil aura," Master Bolin said. Just then, we heard a loud crash. That wasn't normal in this quiet temple. "What was that?" I asked in fear. We then heard footsteps getting closer to us until the door was kicked down. I stared in horror as one of the people who live in the temple glared at us with glowing dark blue eyes. Her long brown hair was messy and her clothes were dirty. It looked like she was fighting someone already. "She's infected with Chaos's evil aura. Kai, take this to protect yourself," Master Bolin urged as he took his necklace off and handed it to me. "Why can't we give it to her?" I asked as I motioned towards the infected girl. "She's long gone. It's too late, so I have to kill her," Master Bolin said. I nodded and put his necklace on. I was worried about Master Bolin because he was too far from his protective necklace in this very spacious room. Soon after, Master Bolin's eyes started to turn dark blue as he viciously attacked the girl. I turned to look out of the window and saw a dark blue aura in the sky. Was I safe earlier because I was close to Master Bolin? I quickly turned my head back around just as a vase was thrown in my direction. I moved out of the way in time, causing the vase to shatter against the wall. The girl must have thrown it at Master Bolin. It seemed like both of them were long gone. Her evil aura must have corrupted Master Bolin to the point of no return. Master Bolin delivered a final strike with his staff that broke the girl's neck, killing her instantly. I jumped as Master Bolin turned to me while aiming his staff at me. It's too late for me to save him with this necklace that he gave me because he is too far gone. He charged at me with the staff, striking my nose. I held my bleeding nose as I swung my staff at him. We exchanged blows for a while until I managed to knock him to the ground. I began to pant as I looked at him laying on the ground. After 5 years of practicing, I was finally strong enough to take him down. His eyes were still glowing dark blue. "Master Bolin," I said in concern. He stood up as he glared at me and struck me with his staff again. Knowing I had no choice, I hit his head as hard as I could with my staff, killing him. Shaking, tears formed in my eyes as I stared at his motionless body. "I'm sorry, Master Bolin," I sobbed as I walked out of the room. As I walked through the temple, I saw countless dead bodies. I have to find Chaos and destroy it. Since I'm less fortunate, I don't have many basic necessities to pack for the journey. I couldn't bring myself to walk back to my room anyway, since I would have to walk past Master Bolin's room with Master Bolin's dead body laying in it. I walked out of the temple and began my search for Chaos. After hours of walking, I spotted a ship that was about to set sail. Feeling tired, I got on the ship and approached the first man I saw. "Good afternoon. Where are you headed?" he asked. "I'm looking for Chaos," I said. "Well, you're on the right ship. Welcome to the crew," the man said. The sound of the sea was calming to me as the waves were gently crashing against the ship. "Thank you," I said. Suddenly, I felt something hit the ship, causing us to fall backwards. I stood back up and held my staff up in defense. We watched as a huge, blue, muscular creature rose from the water. "Is he even human?" What is that?" "What is that?" one of the men on the ship asked as he reached for a sword, followed by the rest of the men who grabbed their swords as well. "My name is Cerberus. You will be dead soon enough," he said as he climbed onto the ship with an axe in his hand, revealing that he is 3 times our size. "Boys, get ready to fight this thing." Mihiro sure picked a good time to be on the other side of the ship, relieving himself in our bucket. I wonder who Mihiro is. "I'm on it," I said as I charged at Cerberus with my staff. Cerberus laughed and swung his axe at me, tearing the right sleeve of my shirt. I grunted as I held my bleeding shoulder. I attempted to strike him again, but I was no match for him. The men on the ship cut him with their swords, only to be brutally attacked by Cerberus's axe. "Weak, pathetic humans," Cerberus yelled as he swung his axe at me again. I quickly rolled out of the way and looked at the wounded men behind me. All were dead but one, who was still fighting to stay alive. I picked up one of the men's swords and impaled Cerberus's leg with it before running to the wounded man and helping him sit up. "Sir, are you okay?" I asked as I was holding him up. "I appreciate you trying to help us," the man said in between breaths. "I'm sorry that I couldn't help you guys enough," I said I said as my eyes began to tear up with guilt. He died in my arms shortly after, and I heard footsteps from behind me. What did you do to my crew? I whipped my head around to see who it was. He looked slightly older than me and more muscular with mid-length brown hair and brown eyes. He was also of Japanese descent. Cerberus was nowhere to be found. I watched as he reached in his pocket for a pair of nunchucks. I stood up and faced him while he gripped harder on his nunchucks. Please, it wasn't me, I pleaded. Without saying a word, the man held his nunchucks at me. Looks like I have no choice but to fight once again. I struck his chest with my staff, causing him to hold his chest in pain for a few seconds. You killed my family, the man said coldly as he hit me in the face with his nunchucks. My face stung from his attack as I hit him again with my staff. It wasn't me. It was a creature named Cerberus, I said. You're lying again. You're the first one I saw when they died, he yelled. We continued to exchange blows until I was hit hard in the head, knocking me unconscious. I stared at my family's killer as he laid on my ship unconscious. I then heard laughing. Who's there? I snapped as I turned my head to see where the laughing was coming from. A huge muscular blue creature revealed himself after pushing down the tall and wide stack of crates that was able to hide his big frame. Who are you, and what are you doing on my ship? I'm Cerberus, the killer of your crew members. You were dumb enough to think that he did it, the creature said as he pointed at the young boy that I knocked out. I looked at the boy before looking back at Cerberus with anger. You will pay for what you did, I yelled as I repeatedly struck him with my nunchucks. Cerberus held his arm back while holding his axe and attempted to hit me with it. I quickly rolled out of the way, making his axe dig into the ship instead. Cerberus grunted in frustration as he pulled his axe from the ground. I took this opportunity to strike him again. Cerberus pushed me to the ground where the mark from his axe was located. A few chips from the wood pierced my skin, causing me to yell out in pain. By the time I was able to stand up, Cerberus swam far away. I'll kill him for what he did, I said with gritted teeth. I turned my attention back to the young boy that I knocked unconscious to examine his wounds. Luckily, they aren't too bad. I guess he's my responsibility now.